Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one thing straight. Being a strong and unstoppable woman is not about being fearless. It's about moving forward even when you're scared. It's about making decisions that align with your goals, standing up for yourself, and refusing to let self-doubt, fear, or other people's opinions hold you back. So today, I'm giving you 5 secrets that will turn you into the most powerful, confident, and unstoppable version of yourself. Secret number 1, master your mindset. Let's start with the most important thing, your mindset. The way you talk to yourself is shaping your entire life. If you wake up every morning thinking, I'm not good enough, I'll never get that promotion, I'm not ready to start that business, guess what? You're going to prove yourself right. But the moment you flip that script, everything changes. Instead of saying, I can't, start saying, I will find a way. Instead of thinking, I'm not ready, start saying, I'm learning and I'll figure it out. You have to train your brain to work for you, not against you. Stop letting negative thoughts run your life. The moment you hear that self-doubt creeping in, catch it and shut it down. Replace it with something that pushes you forward. Secret number 2, take action, not just inspiration. Here's the truth: motivation is a lie. If you're waiting to feel motivated before you start that workout, that business, that project, you'll be waiting forever. Successful women don't wait to feel ready. They take action even when they don't want to. And here's the magic: action creates motivation. Think about it. You ever notice how once you start working out, you suddenly feel more motivated to keep going? That's because motion changes emotion. The trick is to start before you're ready. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. That's all it takes to start rewiring your brain for action. Secret number 3, set boundaries and protect your energy. Listen to, men, everyone deserves access to you. If you are constantly drained by negative people, toxic relationships, and energy vampires, you will never feel strong or unstoppable. Unstoppable women protect their energy. They set boundaries. They say no without guilt. And they don't waste time explaining themselves to people who don't respect them. Stop feeling obligated to make everyone happy. Stop letting other people's negativity take up space in your mind, your time, your energy, your life. It's yours to protect. The moment you start setting boundaries, you take back control. Secret number 4, turn fear into fuel. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is proof that you are growing. If you're never scared, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. But here's the thing, most people let fear stop them. They feel afraid and they back down. But successful women, they feel afraid and they do it anyway. You have to start using fear as fuel. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what if this works? Instead of worrying about what could go wrong, focus on what could go right. Fear will always be there. The difference between the women who win and the women who don't, winners refuse to let fear make their decisions. Secret number 5, show up every single day. This is the real secret, the thing that separates the unstoppable from the ones who quit. Consistency. It's easy to be excited on day 1. It's easy to be motivated for a week. But can you show up when you don't feel like it? Can you stay committed when progress is slow? Can you keep going when nobody's cheering for you yet? Because strong women don't quit when things get hard. They keep going. They trust the process. They show up even on the days they don't want to. And that's how you win. Not by being perfect, not by never feeling doubt, but by showing up, taking action, and pushing forward even when it's tough. Whatever it is, don't just listen to this and get inspired. Do something. Use this moment as a turning point. Because the truth is, you are already strong. You are already unstoppable. Your mindset is the foundation of everything in your life. It dictates how you handle challenges, whether you push forward or give up, and how you see yourself in relation to your goals. The problem is that most people don't realize they are their own worst enemy. They wake up every day and immediately start filling their mind with negativity. They doubt themselves before they even take action. They let fear of failure, past mistakes, and limiting beliefs control them. And the worst part? They don't even recognize it's happening. The way you talk to yourself matters. Every thought you think is shaping your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, then your brain will work overtime to prove you right. But the moment you flip the script, everything changes. The key isn't waiting for confidence to magically appear, it's training yourself to think differently. Confidence is built, not found. It starts with deciding that you are worthy of success and reinforcing that belief every single day. One of the most dangerous things we do is allow self-doubt to take over. That voice in your head telling you you're not ready. That's not the truth. That's just a habit. It's your brain trying to keep you in your comfort zone. The brain is wired for survival, not success, which means it's always looking for ways to keep you safe. But safe doesn't lead to growth. Safe doesn't create success. If you're waiting for that voice to disappear before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. The trick is learning to recognize doubt for what it is: background noise. It's just old programming, and you don't have to listen to it. So how do you change your mindset? You start by taking control of what you focus on. Your brain is constantly filtering information. If you spend your time thinking about your failures, your insecurities, and everything that could go wrong, your brain will highlight those things everywhere. But if you train yourself to focus on progress, possibilities, and strengths, that's what your brain will start noticing. It's not about lying to yourself, it's about choosing a perspective that empowers you instead of limits you. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by interrupting negative thoughts. The second you catch yourself thinking something that holds you back, you stop it in its tracks. You say, nope, I don't think like that anymore. You replace it with something that pushes you forward. Instead of, I'm not good enough, you say, I am capable of figuring this out. Instead of, I'm afraid to fail, you say, every mistake is a lesson that moves me forward. Another strategy is visualization. Top athletes, CEOs, and high performers all use it because it works. If you can see yourself succeeding, your brain starts believing it's possible. Close your eyes and imagine yourself accomplishing your goals. See yourself walking into that room with confidence, giving that speech, running that business, or achieving whatever it is you want. Feel the emotions of success, excitement, pride, determination. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. When you visualize success, you train your mind to expect it. The people you surround yourself with also play a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you're constantly around negative people who doubt themselves and complain, that energy will rub off on you. But if you spend time with people who believe in themselves, take action, and push past fear, that mindset will become yours too. You need to be intentional about the energy you allow into your life. If someone is always dragging you down, you need to create space. Protect your mindset like your success depends on it, because it does. Taking control of your thoughts isn't just about success, it's about freedom. When you stop letting self-doubt, fear, and negativity dictate your choices, you take your power back. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the creator of your own life. You no longer wait for the perfect moment or hope that confidence magically appears. You make the decision to believe in yourself, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel ready, even when the doubts creep in. And here's the best part: the more you do this, the easier it gets. Changing your mindset isn't about making one big shift overnight. It's about small, daily choices that add up over time. It's catching yourself when you start thinking small and choosing a bigger thought instead. It's pushing forward even when you feel scared. It's deciding that you are worthy of the success you want and proving it to yourself every day. You already have everything you need to succeed. The only thing standing in your way is the story you've been telling yourself. And the good news? You can change that story right now. Waiting for motivation is one of the biggest traps people fall into. Too many people sit around thinking, I'll start when I feel ready, I'll take action when I have more confidence, I'll go after my goals when I feel inspired. But here's the truth: motivation is a lie. It's unreliable. It comes and goes. And if you rely on it, you'll never get anywhere. The people who succeed aren't the ones who feel motivated every day, they're the ones who take action no matter how they feel. Think about it. How many times have you planned to start something, but when the time came, you didn't feel like it? You promised yourself you'd wake up early and hit the gym, but when the alarm went off, you hit snooze instead. You told yourself you'd finally work on that business idea, but when you sat down to do it, you suddenly felt too tired or distracted. This happens because we assume we need to feel ready before we act, but that's completely backward. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The truth is, the hardest part of anything is simply getting started. Once you begin, your mind and body adapt. Think about how hard it is to start working out, but once you're moving, you suddenly feel more motivated to continue. That's because taking action changes your emotional state. If you wait for motivation, you're handing control over to your emotions, and emotions are inconsistent. But when you take action, you create momentum, and momentum is what builds lasting change. This is where most people get stuck. They think they need motivation to move forward. But what they really need is discipline. Discipline is the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it. It's training yourself to show up no matter what. The best part, discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you build through repetition. Every time you push yourself to take action despite feeling unmotivated, you strengthen your discipline muscle. One of the best ways to get yourself into action is to lower the barrier to entry. We often make things harder than they need to be. We think we need to be perfect, have everything figured out, or feel 100% ready before we start. But in reality, the best way to build momentum is to take small, immediate steps. Instead of telling yourself you need to work out for an hour, start with 5 minutes. Instead of thinking you need to write an entire book, commit to writing just one sentence. Instead of waiting for the perfect business plan, take one simple step forward today. The key is getting out of your head and into action. A powerful tool to help you with this is the 5-second rule. The moment you feel hesitation creeping in, count down -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. This technique interrupts overthinking and forces you into action before your brain has time to talk you out of it. The reason this works is that hesitation is the first sign of self-doubt. The longer you hesitate, the more likely you are to procrastinate, overthink, or convince yourself to quit. But when you count down and act, you take control. You break the habit of waiting for motivation and replace it with the habit of immediate action. Another important thing to remember is that action breeds clarity. Many people don't start because they don't know how to begin. They overanalyze every step, worrying about doing it wrong or making mistakes. But the reality is, you'll never have all the answers before you start. Clarity comes from experience. The more you take action, the more you learn what works and what doesn't. The worst thing you can do is sit around waiting for the perfect plan. There is no perfect plan, there is only action, learning, and adjusting along the way. When you start prioritizing action over motivation, you develop a new kind of confidence, one based on results, not feelings. You start to trust yourself because you see yourself following through. You begin to realize that success isn't about waiting for inspiration, it's about committing to daily action, no matter how small. And the best part? Over time, these small actions add up. One workout turns into a habit. One business idea turns into a project. One bold step turns into unstoppable momentum. The reason successful people seem so confident isn't because they always feel motivated. It's because they've trained themselves to take action regardless of how they feel. And you can do the same. Stop waiting, stop overthinking. Start moving. Your time and energy are your most valuable assets, and if you don't protect them, you will constantly feel drained, overwhelmed, and stuck. Too many people let others dictate their schedules, their emotions, and their priorities. They say yes when they want to say no. They allow toxic people to take up space in their lives. They spend time on things that don't align with their goals, all because they feel guilty for setting boundaries. But here's the truth, if you don't protect your energy, you will never be able to reach your full potential. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's how you take control of your life and create the space you need to grow, focus, and succeed. When you constantly allow other people's negativity, drama, or expectations to drain you, you are giving away your power. You cannot be unstoppable if you are constantly exhausted by things that don't serve you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that they owe everyone unlimited access to their time and energy. But the truth is, not everyone deserves access to you. If someone is always bringing negativity, doubting your dreams, or making you feel small, you need to create distance. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to feel guilty. You simply need to decide that your well-being is a priority. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your mindset, your motivation, and your success. If you are constantly around people who complain, make excuses, or don't believe in themselves, that energy will affect you. But when you surround yourself with people who are driven, positive, and supportive, you naturally start to level up. Energy is contagious. If you want to be unstoppable, you need to be intentional about the kind of energy you allow in your life. One of the hardest but most important boundaries you need to set is learning to say no. Many people struggle with this because they don't want to disappoint others. They say yes out of obligation, even when it means sacrificing their own needs. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could move you forward. You need to stop feeling guilty for prioritizing yourself. Your goals, your dreams, and your well-being matter. Saying no to what doesn't serve you is saying yes to your future. Another way to protect your energy is by limiting your exposure to negativity. This includes social media, the news, and even your own thoughts. If you start your day scrolling through negativity or consuming content that makes you feel bad about yourself, you are setting yourself up for failure. You need to be mindful of what you allow into your mind. Choose to consume things that inspire, educate, and empower you. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Limit time spent on things that don't contribute to your growth. What you feed your mind matters. Your environment plays a huge role in your energy levels. If you are constantly in chaotic, cluttered, or toxic spaces, it will affect your focus and productivity. Create an environment that supports your success. This means organizing your space, surrounding yourself with things that inspire you, and making sure you have time for rest and recovery. Being unstoppable doesn't mean running on empty. It means knowing when to push and when to recharge. One of the most powerful things you can do is start checking in with yourself regularly. Ask yourself, does this person, activity, or habit give me energy or take it away? If something consistently drains you, it's a sign that a boundary needs to be set. Trust yourself. Your energy is valuable, and you have the right to protect it. Setting boundaries and protecting your energy isn't about shutting people out or being selfish. It's about making sure that you are in the best possible state to pursue your goals and live the life you deserve. When you start setting boundaries, you will notice a shift. You will feel lighter, more focused, and more in control of your life. You will have more energy to dedicate to the things that truly matter. And most importantly, you will realize that you are no longer held back by the things that once drained you. If you want to be a strong, unstoppable woman, you need to start acting like one. That means being intentional about where your time and energy go. It means recognizing that you are in control of your life and that you have the power to create an environment that supports your success. Stop waiting for permission. Stop apologizing for prioritizing yourself. Start protecting your energy and watch how unstoppable you become. Fear is the number one thing that keeps people stuck. It stops them from taking action, from speaking up, from chasing their dreams. It whispers in their ears, telling them they're not ready, not capable, not good enough. And most people believe it. They let fear control their decisions, their potential, and their lives. But here's the truth: fear is a liar. It is not real danger. It is just your brain trying to keep you comfortable. And if you let it, it will rob you of everything you are meant to become. Fear doesn't go away. It doesn't magically disappear one day when you finally feel ready. The people who succeed are not fearless. They are just willing to act despite their fear. That is the difference between those who stay stuck and those who move forward. They understand that fear is just a feeling, not a fact. They don't let it stop them. They learn how to move through it. Most people wait for confidence before they take action. They think, I'll go for that opportunity when I feel ready. I'll start the business when I know more. I'll put myself out there when I'm less scared. But that's backward. Confidence doesn't come first, action comes first. You don't feel confident before you do something. You feel confident because you did it. Confidence is built through experience. It's built through doing hard things, proving to yourself that you can, and showing up even when you don't feel ready. Think about the first time you tried anything new. Maybe it was driving a car, speaking in public, or learning a skill. You were probably nervous, maybe even terrified, but over time, as you kept doing it, your confidence grew. The same applies to everything in life. You can't sit around waiting for the fear to leave before you start. You have to start with the fear. You have to teach yourself that fear is just part of the process and that you can handle it. One of the biggest lies fear tells you is that you have to be perfect before you begin, that you have to know everything, have all the answers, and never make mistakes. But perfectionism is just another form of fear. It's just procrastination in disguise. If you keep waiting for perfect conditions, you'll never start. Success doesn't come from waiting. It comes from showing up messy, imperfect, and uncertain, but showing up anyway. When fear tells you, what if you fail? Flip the script and ask, what if I succeed? Instead of imagining the worst-case scenario, start training your brain to imagine the best case. Because fear isn't logical, it's just a habit. Your brain is wired to focus on danger to keep you safe. But safety doesn't lead to success. You have to teach your mind to see possibility instead of risk. One of the best ways to do this is by using the 5-second rule. The moment fear starts creeping in, count down -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take action. This interrupts the fear loop in your brain and forces you to move before your thoughts can stop you. The more you do this, the less power fear has over you. You start retraining your brain to act despite fear instead of freezing because of it. Fear also loses its grip when you start collecting evidence of your own courage. Every time you push through fear, every time you take action despite the doubt, You are proving to yourself that you can handle it. Keep track of these wins. Remind yourself of every time you thought you couldn't do something but did it anyway. Build a mental library of your own bravery and refer back to it whenever fear tries to creep in. You will never eliminate fear completely, but you don't need to. You just need to stop letting it make your decisions. Fear will always be there, whispering doubts in your ear, making you second-guess yourself. But you are stronger than your fear. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to obey it. You get to choose. If you want to become strong and unstoppable, you have to get comfortable with fear. You have to stop running from it and start seeing it for what it is, a sign that you're growing. Because fear doesn't show up when you're staying the same. It only appears when you're stepping into something bigger, something better. So feel the fear and do it anyway. Self-doubt is one of the most destructive forces in your life. It's the voice in your head that tells you that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that someone else is smarter, better, more qualified. And if you listen to that voice, if you believe it, it will hold you back from everything you are meant to be. The truth is, self-doubt is a liar. It is not based on facts. It is based on fear. And fear is not an accurate predictor of your future. It's just your brain trying to keep you in your comfort zone. When you allow self-doubt to take control, you don't just slow down your progress, you stop yourself from even trying. And if you don't try, you never get the chance to prove yourself wrong. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never doubt themselves. They are the ones who refuse to let doubt win. They take action even when they feel uncertain. They move forward even when they're not sure of the outcome. They don't wait until they feel ready because they know that ready. Confidence is not something you have, it's something you build. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with self-doubt is because they focus too much on what they lack instead of recognizing their strengths. They compare themselves to others, thinking she's more talented, he's more experienced. They have something I don't. But comparison is the fastest way to destroy your confidence. Every time you compare your journey to someone else's, you are setting yourself up to feel inadequate. You are measuring yourself against a version of success that was never meant for you. Instead of comparing yourself to others, start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. Focus on your own progress, celebrate your own wins. The only competition that matters is the one between you and your past self. If you are learning, growing, and improving, you are already winning. Another powerful way to break free from self-doubt is to change the way you talk to yourself. Most people are their own worst critics. They say things to themselves they would never say to a friend. They call themselves stupid, weak, unworthy, but your mind believes what you tell it. If you constantly reinforce negativity, your brain will look for evidence to confirm it. Start speaking to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. Catch yourself when you say, "I'm not good enough," and replace it with, "I am learning and growing every day." When you think, "I'll never succeed," remind yourself, every successful person started exactly where I am right now. Words matter. The way you talk to yourself shapes your confidence, your decisions, and your future. Self-doubt also thrives when you focus too much on what could go wrong. Your brain loves to play out worst-case scenarios. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if people judge me? But instead of letting these thoughts spiral, flip the script. Start asking yourself, what if I succeed? What if I surprise myself? What if everything goes right? When you shift your focus to possibility instead of fear, you start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. Taking action is one of the fastest ways to silence self-doubt. Most people think they need confidence first, but confidence doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. The more you take action, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence is built through experience, through showing up, through taking risks. Every time you do something you once doubted yourself on, you collect proof that you are stronger than your doubts. You also have to stop waiting for perfect conditions. Too many people put off their dreams because they think they need more time, more skills, more preparation. But perfection is a trap. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will be waiting forever. There is no perfect moment, there is only now. And now is the best time to start. One of the most powerful ways to break free from self-doubt is to take small, consistent steps forward. You don't have to have it all figured out, you just have to start. Success is not built in one giant leap. It is built in the daily, seemingly small decisions to keep moving forward. Every step counts. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. Doubt will always try to creep in. It will always try to tell you that you're not ready, not smart enough, not worthy. But you don't have to listen. You don't have to let it win. You are stronger than your self-doubt. You are capable of more than you realize. And the moment you decide to stop letting doubt control your life, you become unstoppable.